the tradition of oral instruction. The instruction of samatha has been passed down orally from one individual to another. One first receives instruction on samatha, much like what is presented in this book. According to the oral instructions on samatha, meditation experiences can be divided into 5 stages. The first stage is called the experience of instability. When one begins to meditate, one first experiences the mind as very unstable, with countless thoughts arising. These thoughts, both good and bad, cascade like a waterfall from a cliff. When the waterfall hits the ground, it splashes up with great agitation, creating many waves. In meditation, one may feel as if they have never had so many thoughts before, thinking, meditation makes my thoughts increase. It is not that meditation increases your thoughts. Rather, you did not notice them previously. Now, through observation, you become aware of how many thoughts arise. In fact, one is not generating more thoughts. Before one began meditating, one did not reflect on how many thoughts one had. One did not analyze them and was not aware of the number of thoughts. Meditation is the beginning of dealing with the mind because it makes us aware of our thoughts. When we continue to meditate, we have the second type of meditation experience, called the experience of attainment. With this experience, we begin to feel that our meditation has reached a good state. This experience is like a river flowing through mountains or valleys, still rapid with many waves, but not as violent or fierce as a waterfall. It is a slight improvement from the first stage. The next stage of meditation becomes easier, like a slow-flowing river, though it has not yet reached a continuous state of stability where no thoughts arise. It is not as rough and discontinuous as the second stage, the experience of attainment. At this stage, meditation has become smooth and gentle to some extent, as the power of thoughts has weakened. This third level is called the experience of familiarization. The third level is like a gently flowing river. Thoughts still arise, but they are weaker and controllable. The fourth level is called the experience of stability, as it is a continuous state of calm without disturbing thoughts. At this stage, one has gained control over the mind. This state is like a tranquil ocean without waves. At this stage, the river has stopped flowing. In the third level, it is still moving slowly. The fifth level is called the experience of complete stability. It is the final stage in which one is no longer disturbed by any kind of experience. The experiences that arise at this stage are bliss, clarity, and the absence of thoughts. Bliss refers to the joy of concentration in the form realm. Clarity is a luminous state, and the absence of thoughts is a state of blankness. We may become attached to blankness, bliss, and clarity. At the fifth level, these three states arise due to complete stability. When the mind abides continuously in this meditative absorption, these three sensations emerge. When concentration is unstable, these sensations do not arise. one may enter concentration momentarily, but soon fall out of it, shifting back and forth. The concentration is not stable. After reaching the 5th level, as concentration becomes very stable, sensations of blankness, bliss, and clarity arise. For example, during meditation, one may experience intense bliss. This corresponds to the concentration of the first dhyana and beyond. We may often enter the first dhyana, but it may not be stable. The first dhyana has 5 requirements. As long as one fulfills them, one is considered to have entered the first dhyana. It is not determined by sensations. How do these sensations arise? When one meets these conditions and remains stable over time, sensations of joy and bliss born of detachment arise, bringing comfort to both body and mind. If the concentration is unstable, if one enters the first dhyana but quickly exits, these sensations will not arise. Whether one has entered the first dhyana is not determined by physical sensations. It has 5 criteria, and those who meet them have entered the first dhyana. There is some controversy on this topic, which is actually due to a lack of understanding. Those with meditation experience naturally understand it, while those who argue do so out of misunderstanding. Once understood, they will see that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have explained the standards clearly. Some say, even if you meet the criteria, without these sensations, you haven't entered this meditative state. In reality, one may have entered a meditative absorption, though it may not be stable. For example, while meditating, one might experience intense bliss that later fades. Or, one day, a great clarity may suddenly arise in meditation, and one might think, what is this clarity I'm experiencing? One might also experience a state devoid of conceptual thoughts. These are the 3 kinds of experiences that can arise in samatha meditation. At this level, whatever arises does not disturb one's mental stability. One remains unaffected by conditions that give rise to craving, anger, or even love and compassion. As a result, the mind becomes exceptionally clear and bright, free from dullness or confusion. This experience is like a candle burning in still air. It shines brightly and steadily. In moving air, however, it gives only intermittent light. The mind wavers like a candle in the wind. Once the mind becomes stable and undisturbed by thoughts, one can understand things clearly. There are 2 aspects of perfect understanding: clarity and purity. Clarity means perceiving everything with sharp insight and understanding everything clearly, distinctly, and in detail. Purity means the mind is free from uncertainty or doubt, and this clarity does not fluctuate. It is a completely pure, unpolluted understanding. Usually, when we develop some mental stability and have a good meditation experience, we may think, this is wonderful. I must be close to becoming a siddha. One may feel as if enlightenment is near. When we have a bad meditative experience, we may think, this is terrible. I must be doing everything wrong. Whatever experience arises, good or bad, we should continue meditating. If a good experience arises, we should not feel superior or become proud. We should just keep meditating. If a bad experience arises, we should not become depressed, as that will only lead to falling into lower realms. We should continue our meditation steadily. No matter what arises in meditation, do not become discouraged or excited. These are all karmic habits surfacing. When Gampopa saw the Hevajra mandala, or the entire Chakrasamavara mandala appear, or met his Yidam deity in meditation, he would ask his teacher, Milarepa, what it meant. Milarepa always said it was nothing at all, that there was neither good nor bad in it, and that he should return to his meditation. Please remember, no matter what appears, do not cling to it. It is neither good nor bad. Sometimes Gampopa had very bad experiences during meditation. Once, the whole world began to spin until he threw up. Another time, everything went completely dark, and he had to feel his way around on his hands and knees, thinking it must have been caused by a demon. Still another time, he heard a loud shouting from nowhere and thought he had gone insane. When he asked Milarepa about these experiences, Milarepa simply said it was nothing at all, neither good nor bad, and told him to continue meditating. Likewise, we should just continue our meditation regardless of whether the experiences are good or bad. While meditating, various experiences may arise because each person has different karmic habits and different practice experiences in past lives. All of these can appear during meditation. Some individuals might be harassed by external demons, while others may be disturbed by the force of karma accumulated over countless kalpas. In past lives, one may have slandered the three jewels. As a result, some demonic states or disturbing conditions may appear. Buddhas or deities encountered in past practice may also emerge from one's eighth consciousness. Many experiences from past lives may appear like dreams. As we sleep, we dream, and all sorts of things may surface. Good dreams, bad dreams, all kinds of dreams. Various situations may arise during meditation. When they occur, do not cling to them, or you will have trouble. During meditation, any seed from the storehouse consciousness may emerge. Do not find them strange. They are all delusions. Remember, as long as your method is correct, do not care whether the experiences are good or bad. Just make sure the method is correct and do not cling to the experiences.